Please be seated. My name is Tim Curley, and I serve as chair of the Board of Trustees of Claremont Graduate University. On behalf of the board, it is my pleasure to welcome you to CGU's 92nd annual commencement. Now, if the audience will please stand, I would like to call upon one of the chaplains of the Claremont Colleges, Imam Adil Zeb, to deliver the invocation.
In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Commencement is the culmination and celebration of the exploration of our time here at CGU. I remember upon completion of graduate school, my mother, she felt so proud of me that day. She looked at me with her big brown eyes and dark brown hair, almost crying, beaming with so much pride. And my father walking on stage and congratulating me and adorning me, it was as if time had stopped. And the dean mentioning how much sacrifice was involved in the acquisition of that degree. And that emotion hit my heart like a sonic boom. When we were children, we didn't know what to expect when we left our parents to go to school for the first time, but we were ready. When we graduated high school, we didn't know what to expect when we left our parents to go to college for the first time, but we were ready. When we graduated college, we didn't know what to expect from the job market for the first time, but we were ready. And now that you all are graduating from the Claremont Graduate University, you all are ready. So I'm going to ask you, in a series of questions, if you are ready, and I request you to say, "We are ready." So are you ready? Everybody's awake, it's good. Are you ready to call for gender equity? To end racism and bigotry? To end the xenophobia that is plaguing our society? To end hatred toward the LGBTQ community? To end the enmity toward often targeted religious minorities? To call for an end to age discrimination? To call for an end of violence in the streets and unjust wars? To open borders, not close them, to open hearts and not corrupt them, to alleviate burdens and not create them? If every mouth is not fed, then no soul is fed, even if their belly is full. Are you ready to end global poverty and homelessness? You all stand today after so much blood, sweat, and tears, countless nights in the library to get to this place, the moment where you commemorate all that you have learned and will teach others in the future. I charge you all today with my sincerest prayers for God to bless each and every one of you, to stand up for injustice, to speak the truth, to fight the evil within your souls, deeds, and words, to be the voice for the voiceless, the privilege for the underserved, and the light for those shattered in darkness. For no society can ever perish as long as there are good among them calling for a better place. I said no society can ever perish as long as there are good among them calling for a better place. I ask God to protect the graduates, give them the moral compass they need to navigate and guide the world, envelop them in your throne, and protect them from the evils of this world and from those who wish them harm. It is not what you do with your degree, but what you do with your newfound pedigree. For now you have the gravitas to be the boss. You have the certification to be the motivation. But now you must pass that test in order to manifest the culmination of your quest. Then go in God's name with all of the blessings. Congratulations, CGU's class of 2019.
It is now my pleasure to introduce the president of Claremont Graduate University, Len Jessup, who will conduct the commencement ceremony. Len?
Please be seated. Make yourselves comfortable. Well, thanks, Tim, and good morning, everyone. Boy, what a thrill to be here today doing this. On behalf of Tim and the rest of our Board of Trustees and our entire faculty, staff, and all the students of Claremont Graduate University, it's my pleasure to welcome the candidates that we're honoring today. It's the graduating class of 2019. Way to go. It's an exciting day for us. This is, we often talk about this being the best day of the year. It is. This is why we're here. This is what we do. So there's no prouder day for all of us here at CGU, no prouder day than commencement, celebrating the remarkable achievements of our graduating students. With your graduate degrees, you represent the power and potential of intellect, passion, and discipline to advance knowledge and to improve the world. And congratulations from all of us who have helped to support you throughout this journey. We applaud you and where you're headed next. Now, as we get underway, I want to acknowledge the platform party behind me, which includes our Claremont Graduate University trustees. You just met Tim, our chairman of the board. We have deans and directors, faculty, senior administrators. They're listed in your commencement program. We're here today in large part because of their contributions to making this university the outstanding research and learning environment that it is today. I also want to recognize our honored guests, whom you'll meet later in the ceremony. We've got Beverly Polizza Dietze sitting next to me over here, Lachlan McDonald, and Betsy Levy-Pollock. These exceptional people are well known for their many accomplishments, and we celebrated them last night over at the house. And they stand as a beacon for those who want to understand better how the world works and how to use that knowledge to make the world a better place. I'm delighted that they're with us today, and you'll hear from them later on. At the end of today's ceremony, those of you graduating will become permanent members of the CGU alumni community. And it's a distinguished group that you join, about 22,000. Last week, we honored several members of the alumni community in downtown Los Angeles with this year's Distinguished Alumni Awards. And it's my pleasure to recognize 3 of those award recipients who are joining us here on the commencement platform. And they are SES alum Dr. Francis Gibson, and from Community and Global Health, we've got alum Bree Hemingway, and from DPE and Drucker, alumnus Mustafa Mirza. So please join me in thanking them for their achievements as outstanding alum. Okay, here we go. Now, it's time for a very special award to get this started. And it's a big surprise because the winner doesn't actually know that this is about to happen. 19 years ago, Pamela Mullen and her children created the Pamela M. Mullen Dream and Believe Award with an endowment gift to the university. The award provides a generous stipend that enables a continuing doctoral student to follow his or her dreams and to make the world a better place. And so School of Educational Studies Dean DeLacy Ganley will now present the Pamela M. Mullen Award on behalf of the Mullen family. DeLacy?
Thank you. This award was inspired by the perseverance and zest by which Pamela Mullen lived her life. I had the honor of meeting her and her children a few times, and they never shied away from the big topics of life and often talked about the importance and power of dreams. Pamela, a small-framed dynamo of a woman, once grabbed my arm. She looked me in the eye and she said, "If you can think a thought, think it bigger. If you can dream it big, and then go bigger." She really embraced the spirit and wisdom behind the adage that you needed to shoot for the moon, for even if you missed, you'd be among the stars. I love that the Mullen family built into this award an element of surprise, for it reminds us that when we wake up in the morning, one never really knows what the day will have in store for us. So, without further ado, I would like to welcome to the stage the winner of this year's Dream and Believe Award, Samara Suafoa. Come on up, Sam. Samara, in recognition of your exceptional commitment to improving the well-being of all people, your belief in the power of education to transform lives, your desire to help others by supporting the educational opportunities of underrepresented, don't cry, you're gonna make me cry, and disenfranchised youth, as well as your research delving into the educational disparities that have come to light as the data of Native Americans and other Pacific Islanders have been disaggregated from the larger Asian category. Your dream to leave a significant mark in the world, and even as you touch the hearts of many people, and for the inspiration you provide to all of us, Claremont Graduate University, and particularly the faculty of the School of Educational Studies, is pleased and honored to present you with the 2019 Pamela N. Mullen Dream and Believe Award.
I'm so unprepared. I have nothing to say other than I'm so deeply humbled. Excuse me. I'm so grateful to this university for every opportunity that I have been given just to be in an academic space like this, that for so many minorities, it just is really hard. And so I'm just so humbled by this. I cannot tell you. And I am so proud to be a part of this family. And I am so proud of everyone who is earning their degree today. You truly inspire me. If by the grace of God I am lucky, I will be sitting there next year. And there are some faces, thank you. There are some faces that I see and I'm so excited. Like, I went to class with some of you and you are just so inspirational. I firmly believe in the quote that says, "You cannot be what you cannot see," and I see you. So thank you so much to you all. Continue to do the work, continue to serve, and thank you to Lacey and Kill for always supporting my journey here. Thank you.
Yeah, how about that? All right, it is my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Bev Dietze, someone who wears many hats as an activist, as a filmmaker, a director, an actress, and has done so much to advance human rights in her home of South Africa and indeed around the world. If you look up the fight for gay and lesbian rights around the world, you'll find Bev in that history as an early champion. She has been a true pioneer and has used her voice on behalf of those who weren't being heard. In 1995, Bev made history when she stood in front of the United Nations Conference on Women and called for the delegates to recognize that human rights must be extended to all people. This had never been done before. To our graduates today, I say, if you are thinking about making an impact on society, and if you are thinking about what it means to help people and to lift society, consider Bev Dietze as one of your examples. She'd be a great role model. Graduates, family, friends, and other guests, it gives me great pleasure in welcoming our commencement speaker, Bev Dietze.
Good morning. Forgive me, I haven't stopped crying since I arrived here a few days ago. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you to President Jessup, the faculty, board members, the staff, everyone here at CGU. Thank you. I'm very honored to be standing here to be counted among some of the leading minds in academia. I was also very excited to hear that the theme for this year's ceremony is interconnectivity. This word is and has always been at the very center of all that I am and all that I do, because in my home language, this word, this concept, is not very far from the word Ubuntu, which means shared humanity, or as Bishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu said, I am because you are. This word is both simple and complex as it governs all that we do, how we relate to each other as fellow human beings, from how we say, hello, sawubona, in my language, which means we see you, not just me see you, but we see you. That's interconnectivity. And how we work together and how we build one another. I'm from a country whose very fabric is built on this very simple concept, Ubuntu. I was born in Soweto, South Africa, during one of the most repressed times in the history of my country. By 1971, when I was born, all dissent and rebellion had been successfully and brutally crushed by the cold-blooded murder of innocent protesters. Leaders, mothers, fathers, uncles were either in exile, in training camps, or in prisons, while everyone else was silently doing menial labor in perpetual service of the ruling minority. Even though these were the circumstances of my upbringing, I'm very fortunate that I was nurtured in a maternal home by strong women. I was brought up by my grandmother, my mother, my spiritual mother, and all aunts were called different variations of mother and grandmother. These women were the first to teach me the values of Ubuntu and to show me what is possible. Yes, I was born in a country hell-bent on enforcing black inferiority through inferior services, from education to health. But our shared suffering brought us together in full display of the Ubuntu I speak of. As a result, I was brought up to believe in my own potential, not just as a black child growing up in a poor township, but as a girl child without the confines of gender. Because although there was an attempt to enforce gender roles, of course, that's the world we live in my very maternal home, necessity dictated otherwise. Everybody did everything. There was no choice. While I was being taught to believe in all possibilities, I watched my mother suffering under apartheid. I watched my superstar mother brutalized by a racist patriarchal entertainment industry that refused her independence. I watched my grandmother and most of my mothers working themselves to death as domestic workers until their 60s and 70s, earning a pittance just to make sure that my sister and I had food and shelter. But the possibility of emancipation was instilled in me by those whose dreams were crushed before they could materialize, dreams that were subsequently laid on our shoulders as the new, freer generation. There's a saying, we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. Well, Ma, here I am. As a young queer student, activist, I started participating in the liberation movement because I was taught to believe that freedom would come from the mutual recognition of our shared humanity. At the very core of my first president, Nelson Mandela's Rainbow Nation, is Ubuntu. In the making of the first most inclusive constitution in the world, many of us placed our lives on the line and used every tool available to educate, to conscientize, to articulate, to reach out to each other across race, gender, across sexual orientation. It is through this connecting with others that our Bill of Rights became one to be celebrated the world over. I'm from a country that showed us what it is to believe, a country that gave the world the true meaning of hope, a geographic location whose name, once upon a time, evoked smiles and feelings of okayness with the world. A country that brought you Nelson Mandela's rainbow, where even the perpetrators of crimes against humanity are awarded and rewarded for just doing the right thing. A country that told a young black, poor, butch lesbian that it was okay to be queer. I may come as one, but I carry many thousands with me. I stand on the shoulders of giants. I would be remiss if I did not mention my mentor, my leader, my hero, Simon Nkodi. I am with my fellow queers, my fellow queens, who paraded the streets of Soweto in what we called our first Pride parades. And I'm going to mention them because they never get mentioned. Tshidi, Musanku, Lindy, Pule, Leslie, Godfrey, Polly. I'm with all those black lesbians who were brutally murdered in and around the townships of South Africa, from Sizagele Sigasa, Yudise Melani, Nonki Smos, just to mention a few. I mention you because you will be forgotten soon. I also stand on the shoulders of warriors, particularly warrior women who are yet to be recognized and celebrated. The shoulders of Mama Winnie Mandela, of Nkunu Mantsopa, warrior and savior of the Basotho nation, who many of you will never hear of Queen warriors Mkabayi Kajama, without whom there would have been no King Shaka. You've never heard of her. Many will never know this because his story, as we all know, is written by the victors, and the victors are rarely black, women, or queer. It's been 25 years, and I continue to believe, even when watching my country and the world becoming more divided than ever, across the constructs of race, gender, religion, and all of that. In my 47 years of life on this earth, I've gone from being oppressed to being free, to being oppressed again in a whole new way. The negotiated settlement in my country, lauded the world over as a miracle, is a farce whose repercussions are only now coming to the fore. The lessons to be learned are numerous, with obvious one being that we've been using the master's tools to try to dismantle the master's house. Then there's also the realization that the interconnectivity or the recognition of our shared humanity, our Ubuntu, does not mean ignoring our differences or not recognizing that it is our differences that make us vulnerable in a racist, capitalist, heteropatriarchal world. We, as a community of South Africans and the world, rallied together as one, toppled the racist regime, but in the process found ourselves assimilating into the already existing status quo. To quote Mama Audre Lorde, "Without community, there is no liberation, only the most vulnerable and temporary armistice between an individual and her oppression. But community must not mean a shedding of our differences, nor the pathetic pretense that these differences do not exist." So while we, the oppressed, recognize our interconnectedness and our shared humanity with our oppressors and reached out in reconciliation, we suddenly realized that we were reconciling with people who were never reconciled with in the first place. In our hurry to recognize our shared humanity, we failed to hold the perpetrators of this heinous crime against humanity called apartheid to account. As a result, not only do these criminals walk free, but live lavish, opulent lives, contrary to the propaganda that is currently making its rounds around the world. And trust me, it is propaganda, and it is not true. Some of the richest cities in the world sit right next to the poorest. The most vulnerable continue to suffer. Women, children, the disabled, the aged, sexual minorities have no access to some of the most basic services, including our most lauded asset, our land and our constitution. Racist, capitalist, heteropatriarchy continue to be the status quo and continues to wreak havoc on not just my country, but in the world. But I still believe in freedom. I believe in justice. I believe in peace, real peace. I would not be an activist if I didn't. I believe that this change is possible. It is possible in not only the recognition of our shared humanity, but the realization that we only have one planet, one home, and we are on the brink of losing this home. Not just through climate change, but through the imminent rising of all the oppressed, because the oppressed will rise. The poor people of the world will rise. I would like to leave you with the words of the one woman who made me understand my place in the world, and I'm quoting her again, and that's Mama Audre Lorde. "Those of us who stand outside the circle of this society's definition of acceptable women, those of us who have been forged in the crucibles of difference, those of us who are poor, who are lesbians, add trans, intersex, gender non-conforming, non-binary, those who are black, who are older, know that survival is not an academic skill. It is learning how to take our differences and make them strengths. For the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. They may allow us temporarily to beat him at his own game, but they will never enable us to bring about genuine change. And so as scholars, as humanitarians, as thought leaders, it is up to us to find new paths, new ways of being, new ways of governance, new ways of thinking, ways that have the potential to change the world, to bring about justice for the downtrodden, and to save humanity. Let us make sure we do not allow history to continue to repeat itself as it is doing now. Thank you very much, and congratulations to all of you, to all the graduates. Thank you. Ke a leboha.
Thanks, Bev, for your insights and wisdom, and I think probably more than anything, thanks for working so hard to make the world a better place for everyone. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce a student who will be graduating that I've had the pleasure to work with this year on Graduate Student Council. Barathan Moyavuram Sriduran is a student within our Drucker School of Management. He's pursuing his master's degree in financial engineering. He served as treasurer, as I mentioned, for CGU's Graduate Student Council and is the chair of GSC's Travel and Material Awards Committee. And currently, he works in a new job as a risk analyst at Credit One Bank, in all places, back in Las Vegas. Barathan completed his undergraduate studies in electrical engineering, and he's an advocate for renewable energy. He worked as a researcher at Southern California Edison through our Institute of Mathematical Sciences clinic program. He's passionate about teaching, hopes to be a professor one day, perhaps here at CGU. So I'd like to bring to the stage next Barathan.
Beautiful morning, right? Good morning, everyone. Today, I have the honor of introducing our student speaker for this year's commencement, Barbara Bladstone. Barbara is a student of the Division of Behavioral and Organizational Sciences here at CGU. She also currently serves as a member of our LEAD Labs as a leadership development coach and a behavioral assessor. Like all of us, Barbara has worn many hats in her life. First, the hat of a leader in her professional life. Barbara has been a dynamic, creative, and passionate professional, having worked in the fashion industry for over 20 years. Barbara has served as a key strategist for a wide range of companies like Cherokee and Lightning Bolt. Second, the hat of a mother, something that Barbara is very proud of every time she sees her daughters and her family. Today, Barbara wears the hat of an accomplished graduate student who will be receiving her master's degree in organizational and developmental positive psychology. Barbara highlights one of the many reasons why CGU is unique in higher education. Our community greatly benefits from interactions between experienced professionals and young students who share knowledge, ideas, and experiences to collaborate and grow holistically, but with one common objective: to be the best at what we do. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Barbara Bladstone.
Good morning. Fellow graduates, President Jessup, members of the faculty and staff, honored guests, Board of Trustees, family, and friends. 3 years ago, I walked on this campus. I was thrilled to be accepted, but I was feeling intimidated. I had spent over 20 years in the fashion industry. I hadn't been in a classroom since Duran Duran were on top of the charts. And I'd seen both my daughters fly away to college. I wasn't sure where I fit in, but my passion for a new and positive path was driving me to try. It was early on this path that I entered the world of statistics. While analytical tools like R and SPSS were swirling around in my head, I found that the term outlier really resonated with me, and I wasn't sure why. We've all heard that common term, that much too distant point away from the mean, indicates being outside the normal distribution. It even is suggestive of a dreaded experimental error. But I've learned at Claremont, the outlier doesn't have to be a negative. At Claremont, we're encouraged to think outside of the norm, to ponder the unorthodox. It happens in the classroom, and it happens in our conversations. James Blaisdell, Claremont's first president, noted that great conversation happens at the center of college life. It makes up the foundation of our unique Claremont connections, insights, and perspectives. We use the energy of the outlier to shift the normal distribution to be significantly above average, to challenge the constructs of normalcy. Today, we're all part of that new distribution we call CGU. All of us are outliers because of our individuality, whatever our background, ethnicity, gender, sexuality, abilities, race, personal journey, and of course, age. Our experiences and perspectives, although different in a kaleidoscope of ways, all belong to this beyond normal distribution as we push and shift our life curve into new directions. The support, encouragement, knowledge, and positive underpinnings that we glean from this place, they've shaped who we are and who we are yet to become. My non-normal start on Wall Street, my 20-plus year fashion industry background, and my reinvention at age, all right, well, you get the picture. That does set me apart. It could even make me an extreme outlier. So this is why I join you today in our separation from the normal, our distance from the average, and our exceptional diversity that actually brings us together today. For me, the wise words of Herminia Ibarra resonated deeply. Change occurs when we allow doing to come first and knowing to come second. As I look back, I realized when I first stepped on this campus, I was instinctively allowing myself to do. And I stand here now so excited about the knowing that has followed because of it. In redefining my path here at CGU, I found my flow. As a fashion creative, I've spent years of my life trying to get to the perfect fit. But I guess the designs that have really personally motivated me have been the ones that broke the convention of color, textile, and silhouette. I see now that I have always loved the outlier, and at CGU, I've come to own it. I believe that the stellar level of knowledge that we have worked hard here to achieve through our shared engagement, that'll push us, whether in psychology, business management, evaluation, the arts, public health, philosophy, or whatever transdisciplinary combination of these that we choose. It'll push us to be those CGU outliers that will make a difference. Congratulations, class of 2019. We did it.
Thank you, Barbara. Well done. All right, this morning, in the great tradition of the university, we confer honorary degrees upon 3 individuals whose achievements inspire and guide us. These individuals will receive the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters or Doctor of, of Science in recognition of their significant and lasting accomplishments in the areas of creativity and innovation or science. To present the honorary degree recipients, I call on Professor Joshua Good, Chair of the Faculty. Josh?
Thank you. By vote of the faculty of Claremont Graduate University and with the approval of the Board of Trustees, I am pleased to present Beverly Palisa Dietze and Lachlan McDonald for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. For the degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa, I present Betsy Levy Pollock.
Thank you, Josh. We will now recognize these candidates individually. Board Chair Tim Curley and Provost Patricia Easton will assist. So if they would please come forward. Kathy and David, all right, we're good. So to begin, will Beverly Palisa Dietze please step forward for the conferral of the honorary degree?
Beverly Palisa Dietze, with your courage and vision, you have fought against discrimination and championed human rights in your home, South Africa, and around the world. As the first person ever to address gay and lesbian rights before a United Nations Assembly, you called for a recognition that, quote, discrimination based on sexual orientation is a violation of human rights. As an advocate and key founder of the organization, Gay and Lesbian Organization of Witwatersrand, and South Africa's first Gay Pride March in Johannesburg, you have reminded us all that freedom of self-expression and identity belongs to everyone. As a director and documentary filmmaker, you have used television and film to entertain and to open minds, to educate, and build bridges of understanding that are vital to our future. Your documentary, Simon and I, which traces your journey to create South Africa's first Pride event, was honored with the 2004 Best Documentary Award by Oxfam and Vue d'Afrique. Beverly Palisa Dietze, because you reside in a long lineage of leaders who have shown that civil rights must begin as human rights, because you have stared down threats to your own well-being in your commitment to social justice, because you have blended artistry with activism in order to raise awareness and create social change. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and with the approval of the Board of Trustees of Claremont Graduate University, we confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, with the rights and privileges appertaining thereto.
Okay, next, will Lachlan McDonald please step forward for conferral of the honorary degree?
Lachlan McDonald, for more than 4 decades, you have dedicated your legal acumen and your belief in fairness and equality to protect every citizen's access to the democratic process. As the longtime director of the American Civil Liberties Union's Voting Rights Project, and now as its emeritus director, You have played a significant role in countless voters' rights cases across the United States. With courage and conviction, you have stood before Congress, the U.S. Supreme Court, in numerous district courts and courts of appeals, and you have spoken out on behalf of those whose voices have been silenced or marginalized. As a writer and scholar, you have extended your message of access and equality to numerous scholarly and popular publications, including several books such as A Voting Rights Odyssey, Black Enfranchisement in Georgia and American Indians and the Fight for Equal Voting Rights. Lachlan McDonald, because you have worked tirelessly to preserve and to protect the sanctity of the voting ballot, because you have never wavered in your belief that our nation needs comprehensive civil rights laws, because, as you once said, we will never outlive the need for those things, because you continually warn us that one of the greatest threats to civil liberties is to assume that the hard work is done. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and with the approval of the Board of Trustees of Claremont Graduate University, we confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with the rights and privileges appertaining thereto.
Okay, and finally, will Betsy Levy-Pollock please step forward for conferral of the honorary degree?
Betsy Levy-Pollock, you have devoted your scholarly career to deciphering and diffusing destructive social norms that poison our relationships and cause devastating violence all over the world. As a recipient of the 2017 MacArthur Fellowship, you have developed new ways to address the hateful influences that distort our perceptions of each other and that divide our societies. As a leader in applied behavioral science, you have created significant large-scale field experiments in the school hallways of America and on the ground in post-genocide Rwanda. As a professor in the Department of Psychology and Woodrow Wilson School of Princeton University, you are preparing the next generation of scholars and social scientists who will continue this vital work. Betsy Levy-Pollock, because your research and teaching shows us that even the most destructive social behaviors can be reshaped, redirected, and changed, because your translation of social psychology into real-life interventions is identifying mechanisms that can positively influence individual and group behaviors, because your work with students today gives us hope for a world in which peaceful conflict resolution is the norm, not the exception. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and with the approval of the Board of Trustees of Claremont Graduate University, we confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, with all of the rights and privileges appertaining thereto.
All right, thank you, and congratulations again to Doctors Dietze, McDonald, and Pollock. Well done. All right, we now come to the time when we celebrate these members of our community, our CGU family, who have completed their courses of study and other requirements to receive their degrees. To all of you graduating here today, I offer my own personal wholehearted congratulations. It's really fun for me kind of wrapping up my first year, and to be able to celebrate with you is pretty special. To award the degrees you have earned, we shall proceed in the following way. First, we'll present candidates for the degrees as a group and confer all the doctoral and master's degrees. And then we'll ask each graduate to come forward to the stage to be recognized individually. And I see Provost Eason will present the candidates for the various degrees.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy, the Doctor of Musical Arts, and the Doctor of Church Music please rise and remain standing? Mr. President, I present the candidates for the doctoral degree, the highest earned degree of Claremont Graduate University.
Thanks. Thank you, Patricia. By granting you this degree, the university signifies its confidence that you have made an original and important contribution to human knowledge, and its hope that you will continue a life of scholarship with its benefits to all humankind. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and with the approval of the Board of Trustees of Claremont Graduate University, it is my privilege to confer upon you the doctoral degree with all its rights and privileges pertaining thereto, and to welcome you to the ancient and venerable community of scholars. Congratulations to all of you.
Will the candidates for the doctoral degree please be seated until we call you to come forward to be recognized individually? Will the candidates for the master's degrees please rise and remain standing? Mr. President, I present the candidates of the master's degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and with the approval of the Board of Trustees of Claremont Graduate University, it is my privilege to confer upon you the appropriate master's degree with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations to all of you as well.
Will the candidates for the master's degrees please be seated until we call you to come forward to be recognized individually? At this time, we would like to honor the individual degree recipients. Will the faculty from the School of Community and Global Health please come forward and be prepared to hood your students as they approach the podium? As the Marshal directs, will the candidates for the degrees of the Doctor of Philosophy and the Doctor of Musical Arts please come forward? Over there. Christopher Johansson. Alexandra Oslander. Mark Dust. Jamie Keeble Felicitas Perkins. Caitlin Harrell Storm. Will the faculty of the School of Educational Studies please come forward? No, no. All right. Okay, we're ready. Michael Lewis Washington. Christy Barrett. Jasmine Monet Brewer. Moya Ann Carter. Elizabeth Claassen Thrush. Michelle Louise Creed. Luciano Neves Cruz. Sean Hawes. Rosemary Hendricks. Amanda Louise Ditto Hernandez. Richard Clark Hayes. Anna Gabriela Kovatz. David Lee. Say Lee. Amy Leukert. Maria I. Morales. Ileana Perez. Nancy Ramirez. Andre Stevens. Joseph? Joseph Edgar Strazzini. Suwa Zong. Leslie Ann Young. Will the faculty of the School of Educational Studies please be seated? Will the faculty of the Center for Information Systems and Technology please come forward? Okay. Vivian Amin Sultan. Salem El Gamdi. Khalaf O. Asalam. Badra S. El Samani. Ahmed Omar El Zalrani. Arindam Brahma. Christopher Jungay. Watanyu Suksa Nijayam. The faculty may be seated. Will the faculty of the Institute of Mathematical Sciences please come forward? Paul Alexander David. Thank you. Abdul Rahman El Ansari. Christina Duran. Nam Rao. The math faculty may be seated. Will the faculty of the School of Behavioral and Organizational Sciences please come forward? Yeah. Hi. Benjamin Ryan Thomas. Suchahita Belvali. Darren Maya Dudley. Laura Elizabeth Graham. Laura Green Hilton. Quinn Lee. Albertina Ann Lopez. Lori Robin Maines. Brittany A. Merson. Ricardo Mendoza Lepe. Rhonda K. Rogers. Daniel Jordan Warner Slingstad. Tasha Strashevsky. Dwight J. Joseph Anthony Wagoner. Dana Linnell Wanzer. Patricia McMorris Shee. The faculty of DBOS may be seated. Will the Faculty of Politics and Economics please come forward? How's your job going? No. All right. Jake Campbell. Kaywin Iamtrical. Rebecca Johansson. I Kine. Adriana F. Craig. Shireen Shahabuddin Mullah. Raul Madrid Jr. Matthew J. McMahon. Hi. Mehran Garib. Michael R. Marino. Rodney Radel Rao. Dom Wrongful Sang Mani. Khaled Eid. Sok Dong Kim. Alma Alicia Bazares Calderon. Aldo Yanez Ruiz. The Faculty of Politics and Economics may be seated. Will the faculty of the School of Arts and Humanities please come forward? Melissa Marie Berry. Rachel Jody Lee McElrath. Elizabeth Ann Burke. Julia Catherine Parnell. John Michael Erickson. Edens Elveas. McLean Elon Heward. James Patrick Murphy Rogers. James Sharp. Tamara Lynn Suda. Edward N. Sermon. It is windy. Chuncha Joy Yu. I do. Melissa Kaeli Galamnejad. Diana Labish. Jeffrey Michael Griffith. Bridget Lawler. Marcella Jill Stockstill. Seth Edwards Rushton. Darren J. Borg. Christina Joy George. Anne F. McClintock. Philip Arthur Ruiz. Joseph Edward Schubert. Nicholas Evan Barrett. Andre Ann Duchesne. Jessica Garlam Kwong. Leslie L. Labar. Stephen W. Martin. Hannah Park. Jun Hin Woo. Okay. Madeline Maud Arnaud. Aurora Berger. Deetra Renee Charles. Samantha Fitzmaurice. Meng Yuan Lee. Manuel E. Lanura. Ashley Christine Lolethan. Rebecca Rich. Cindy Ruiz. Loudon Siddiqui. Jonathan A. Yakub. At this time, we would like to honor the individual master's degree recipients. Will the chair of the faculty, Joshua Good, please come forward? Christina Kader-Laron.
Angel Melgoza Ortiz.
Yong Sun Huang.
Veronica Soto.
Glenn Steinbach.
Nicole Blanchett.
Simon H. Tang.
Rosie Elisa Rosso.
Thank you. Zayed El-Kalani.
Anthony R. Bonoli.
Bradford Yamamoto, Jr.
Lisette Alvarez.
Manish Sravastava.
Courtney Brianne Peterson.
Abubakar Siddiqui Diarra.
Jose Anthony Mata.
Andrea Diana Totoyu.
Michael Thomas O'Brien.
Adenkaniki Ulubi. I'm sorry. Ulubupamihi.
Yusani Kang.
Andra North.
Kim Doan.
Reg Benheim.
Selena Danielle Varela.
Shatha Spitha.
Nicole Teresa Bowman.
Yuan Lee.
Chelsea Renee Kavian.
Giovanna Lizette Morales Tilgren.
Rosabel Jimenez.
Connie Jean Terry.
Adriana Raya.
Matthew Victoria Gomez.
Crystal Michelle Valladares Starr.
Juife Wan.
Tamron Fivey Jung.
Inez Delgado Canela.
Carissa Lee Augustine White.
Kent David Dew.
Chloe Blix Schofield.
Joseph Charles Emormino.
Marlon Kingy.
Donald Mayor.
Kendra Marie Buck.
Magdalena Suarez.
Nicole Dorst.
Esme Taylor.
Dakota Cheyenne Fabro Piankowski.
Madison Stevens Clark.
Tara Lynn Shaw.
Katrina Marie Smith.
Garrett Gibson.
Natalie Rose Rocha.
Jessica Chu.
Allison Fitch.
Brisa Rivas.
Andrew R. Rodriguez.
Oscar Antonio Ramirez.
Adrian Clark Noon.
Tori Armando Barton.
Marisol Sanchez.
Joshua Raymond Barajas.
Jenny Sue. Pepper. Sorry.
Jasmine Nicole Clossy.
Pepper Brown.
Nicholas Stephen Friedman.
Renee Romero.
Anna Karen Torres.
Jamie Derek Keaton Jr.
Anna Elizabeth Cordova.
Sarah Ellen Flores.
Anthony Jimenez.
John Mauger.
Ivy Nak Tran.
Trevina Abdib Eskandar Hana.
Yushan Ho.
Barbara Blackstone.
Alan Austin Allen.
Pratik Chakraborty.
Maximiliano Gudino.
Anand Singh Shukan.
Giovanni Funes.
Indu Sretha.
Corey Sousa.
Wan Fong Chu.
Lang Pham.
Emily Ho.
Dominique Alicia Koch.
Melissa Andrea Perez Nubla.
Taylor Morgan Thomas.
Vidhi Nalish Patel.
Aline Sylvie Gazarian. Yasha Sojwal.
Satisha Valabanini.
Jeffrey Lawrence Hart.
Rajvinder Singh.
Alexandros Levantakis.
Yuxiao Pan.
Xiaowen Wang.
Christopher Simmons.
Takaki Kawasaki.
Hong Liang.
Bongho Yoon.
Yi Jiang.
Kunal Kapoor.
Joseph Louis Gorfinkel.
Saran Richter.
Dennis Michael Crowley.
Leopoldine Lejeune.
Abbas Elbakit.
Vanessa Canas.
Sean Michael Hakam.
Ekaterina Pecoya.
Michael Joseph Espero.
Livia Alexandra Bowman.
Nathan Oliver Muila.
Sasha Bauman.
Iching Li.
Watanafon Adomat.
Mohammed Abu Dawood.
Kimberly Ming.
Victoria Marie Tellez.
Alexei Migurkin.
Devon Winston.
Paris Hutton Claysons.
Akusa Butang.
Brian Cody Williams.
Jessica Jewela.
Kay Shi.
Nicole Ukwu.
Celine Coe.
Leandra Peter.
Elias Enciso.
Sarah Davila.
Courtney Joy Jones.
Stephanie Rockford.
Joseph Santos.
Kyla McCauley.
Abdul Rahman Al-Zahrani.
Carla Salome Verdesoto.
Jeremiah Ojo.
Min Ji Kim.
May Ta.
Sharon Huang.
Slater Elijah Herman.
Sydney Elisa Webb.
Juan Injanis Nguyen.
Kristen Justin Samorton.
Ani Moral Kazarians.
Kaylee Christine Starkey Zimmerman.
Annie Brose.
Elizabeth Lee Mercer.
Olivia Schaefer.
Nicole T. Young.
Kaylin Nolte.
Jacqueline Martell.
Holly Rochelle Wood.
Jordan Rapp Hamilton.
Alma Edith Catalan.
Bryce Dylan Aronson.
Ariana M. Beering.
Johann Christopher Anthony Bouchard.
Heather Pace Dyer.
Adriana Sedgwick.
Giselle Simone Roberts.
Drew Miller.
Daryl Leroy Oft.
Jennifer Newen.
Gloria Patricia Anichiatico.
Kimberly Reish.
Jose Ernesto Revelo.
Victoria Lynn Hewitt.
Thomas Jonathan Slaughter.
Destiny D. Saunders.
Lloyd Thomas McKinney.
Jin Cheng Wang.
Athena Monique Chera. Lisa Arellanes.
Wen Chi Down.
Stuart Todd Furmanek.
Tian Yi Drong.
Asma Ismail Garib.
Sipanon Kitimun.
Sneha Suresh.
Lanta Nguyen.
Barathun Muyavurum Sridurum.
James Santisteban.
Yeshua Fu.
Sky Ageri.
Jiahuan Huang.
Camille Pogochokvinik.
Yuan Zhu.
Lin Wei Chu. Jin Sun. Marissa Stevens. Daniel Kivo. Shannon J. Fiel. Tin Shu Liu. Leo. Kevin Pablo Rosales. Esther Navarro Garcia.
Find my place now. All right, once again, congratulations. Let's have a round of applause for our graduates. All right, earlier this month, Mustafa Mirza was presented with this year's Distinguished Alumni Service Award at a special ceremony where we honored 7 alumni representing each of CGU's schools and divisions. And over the past 2 years, Mustafa has been a real force in creating our university's founding alumni board. Believe it or not, we're almost 100 years old. This is the first time we've had an alumni board. Mustafa and others stepped in to change that. So this is a real special occasion for us. For the first time ever, we'll have the formal head of the formal Claremont Graduate University Alumni Association give the charge to this year's graduates. Before he does, I'd like to thank all the other members of the Alumni Association Board. If our founding members of the Alumni Association Board could please stand so we could acknowledge them. I know we've got Jennifer Bergstrom, Steve Kim, Michael Spicer, Chelsea, Darren, Whitney, there are many others here. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for your service for creating our first formal alumni board. Well, we're proud to have Mustafa come and deliver this year's commencement charge to the graduates. Mustafa holds an MA in government and an MBA, and he also met his wife here when she was working on her MA in international relations. That's not all. The family's got 10 Claremont degrees, 5 of them from CGU. It's a pretty special relationship. Their roots run deeper here in Claremont than the trees here in town. So if you would give me great pleasure, let's give a warm welcome to Mustafa Mirza.
Thank you very much, my man. Thank you, President Lynn, for that last long introduction. I guarantee I'm not going to be more than a minute. So I just have 3 quick things to say to you. One is, and if you remember one of those, that'd be great. First, stay focused on your goals. Let me quote Milton Berle. When opportunity does not knock, build the door. Not the wall, the door. But do it like fellow alumni Chelsea Boxwell, who you'll get to meet later this afternoon. She's here in the audience. Second point, be inclusive and value teamwork. So there's an old Maasai proverb from Africa. That's where it started. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. There is no substitute for teamwork and inclusiveness, folks. That's the message. Go together, go fast. Third, last point, remember home. Remember when you first left home? Remember when you first came back? Remember that this place, that library behind you, those classrooms to your left, this faculty behind me to your front, these professors, this place is also your home. You may forget that as life goes on, but always remember that your CGU will always welcome you back. It's your home. And that's my charge to you. Stay focused on your goals, do it with others and teamwork, and come home to CGU. With that, congratulations, and go forth and be all you can be. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mustafa. Okay, we're just about there. So we'll need the banner carriers from each of the schools to please come forward and retrieve your school's banner. And while they're doing that, let me just say, members of the class of 2019, your involvement with CGU does not end today. Rather, today we start a new chapter together. You remain a part of this community, this alumni group, 22,000 strong. We invite you to join with us and with the alumni who have gone before you in building a university that continues to make the world a better place through our research, teaching, and practice. The symbol of our university is the flame, And so we wish you much success in carrying the flame forward in the next stage of your life. The audience is cordially invited to participate with the recipient in the receptions that we've got that are kind of all around us, around the different buildings. We've got signs around that'll direct you where to go. So if you'd please keep the aisles clear so the graduates may exit and meet you at the school's reception. And then I'd ask our graduates to just wait for a few moments and let the platform party exit and get out of the way. And then I'm going to ask everyone to wait and allow our graduates to exit before leaving. Thank you for attending. It's my pleasure to announce the 92nd annual commencement for Claremont Graduate University is now officially closed. Thank you. Way to go. Congratulations.
Thank you.